So slide is moving. And moving also, right?
Yeah, moving also.
So should we start? It's already 7:05. Swapnil? Yes, sir. Please start. Okay. So good evening, all the audience. So today's talk is sponsored by Reliance company, and topic of discussion is colorectal carcinoma. And my disclosure slides were provided by the company people only. So there are 3-4 highlights of points which we can use in our practice. Although topic colorectal carcinoma, but more or less this will be discussed as a metastatic CRC. So first, a brief about the incidence and mortality about this CRC. Overall, this colorectal carcinoma ranks third in terms of incidence world over, but second in terms of mortality. So its incidence rates are very higher in transitioned countries than transitioning countries. Maybe it's a developed or developing countries. By this word means a diet which is high in consumption of red or processed meat. We all know that has been associated with increased risk of colon cancer, but not the rectal cancer. So this is very busy slide to show the incidence mortality statistics worldwide and by the region. I think we'll skip that. Yeah, here is the pie chart of global burden, how it is distributed worldwide. First, we see the incidence both sexes. So Asia is roughly around 51.8% in terms of global burden of this CRC out of whole world, and mortality wise also 52.4% world over in the Asian continent, and 5-year prevalence is also higher in the Asia. So Asia is the leading continent, and we see the Indian data, which is by the Globocan only, Globocan 2018, which is the latest data as of now. So number of new cases in 2018 males, if we see all the solid malignancies, first and foremost is lip and oral cavity, second lung, then third comes the stomach, and then comes the colorectal, roughly around 6.4%, and then the esophagus. So these are 4-5 solid tumors which are common in incidence wise. So colorectal comes the fourth in India. And if we see the female, obviously breast and cervix are the more common and ovarian more common. And after that comes the lips, oral cavity and colorectal. So roughly around half percentage of the males, like 6.4 in the males and 3.4 in the females all over the country. So, what are the initial metastatic CRC? We are restricting our discussion, not the adjuvant or early stage. Historically, we know that first and foremost drug was 5-fluorouracil, and then came the various options of administering IFU, either infusional or bolus. Then in early 2000s, there came the options of oxaliplatin and then irinotecan. Then there was a controversial whether which one to choose first, which one to second, and regarding side effect profile on the liver function, because in MCRC liver metastases are usually sometimes found, and both of drugs have some cholestasis or some changes in the liver function. And then newer drugs came in 2010, bevacizumab versus cetuximab or panitumumab. So these are the three commonly targeted drugs which we are using nowadays. Otherwise, we are also having nowadays PDL1 inhibitor, which is quite commonly used. Not quite common, quite oftenly. So this is a very popular slide which you can see in most of the talk nationally or internationally, where they discuss about the various permutation and combination, how to combine all these available options of the drugs like 5-FU, capecitabine, irinotecan, bevacizumab, oxaliplatin, cetuximab, regorafenib, aflibercept, panitumumab, TAS-102, PD-1 monoclonal. So these are the drugs which are available, even ramucirumab. So in one particular patient, you can decide the combination in different way. Patient X, like 5-FU oxali irinotecan with bevacizumab. Patient Y, cetuximab combination. Patient Z, bevacizumab combination with capecitabine capox. So there are n number of variety which you can create in combining different combination with these available drugs. So how we can personalize the treatment, which one is the best for that particular patient? Initially, what we were finding that one size fits for all, like Volvox, give to all. Metastatic colorectal carcinoma, either right, left, metastatic or not. So Folfox was the key drug, key combination of regime. So one size was fitting the all this thing. But later on, with the availability of so many drugs and deeper understanding of the molecular biology, different behavior of the right versus left in last 3-4 years. So they came to the understanding that one size cannot fit all. So we have to individualize the therapy in CRC with the newer molecular which we are easily accessing. So what influences our treatment choices metastasis here? This is also a very common slide, which you can see a lot of presentation. So patient characteristic like comorbidity, prior adjuvant treatment, what was there in that, age, performance status, or tumor characteristic, tumor burden, resectability, tumor location, right versus left. If we talk about molecular characteristic, RAS versus BRAF, MSI high, HER2, which is now recommended option, patient preference, quality of life or toxicity profile. So based on these all three parameters, we choose which one is the first line, second line, third line, fourth line. Believe me, with this approach, with correct approach, we can reach even in some of the left-sided tumor, rectal carcinoma. Even I have seen 4-5 year lifespan with extensive lung metastasis. 5 years is too much, but yeah, with the correct approach and molecular understanding, we can reach up to 4-5 years in some of the patients. So genomic marker, how common are they found in these CRC? RAS mutation in roughly 45% patients. EGFR wild type 26%, 8% PIK3CA PTEN mutation, 8% BRAF V600E. So this has got significance of late since last 1 year, although this was a publication in 2018, because that time it was hypothesis that we should combine anti-EGFR drug with BRAF inhibitor, where there is a mutation, BRAF mutation. So to cross this, we can use BRAF inhibitor along with the EGFR, and then we can combine with MEK inhibitors. So this is the triple 3 drug of targeted drug, and along with some chemo backline, either Folfox, Folfoxiri or Folfiri. So these are the 3 drugs can be given together, although recently there has been approval for all these 3 combination. One is Vemurafenib, Panitumab, and MEK inhibitor. I'm not remembering the name. So these 3 combinations are approved as of now. So what is the standard which we are practicing in our day-to-day routine scenario? Folfox plus bevacizumab undisputedly the most commonly used first-line drug in CRC, regardless of sidedness and RAS/BRAF mutation status. Why I'm saying so, we'll come to that later on. Folfiri plus bevacizumab, this is also one combination. Use of EGFR monoclonal antibody slowly increasing in the left side RAS/BRAF wild-type cancer patients. For BRAF mutated patients, Folfoxiri plus Bev recognized as an option but not commonly used. For MSI high MMRD cancer, immuno-oncological drugs are tested in first line but also used in front line outside the trial. But this statement I would say that now it is approved and we can very well use in the first line setting as per the recent NCCN guideline. I think keynote some trial was there for Keytruda in which they have used the first line and have shown very good response as compared to sequential use of multiple lines of chemotherapy. So far better than sequential use. So it is approved in the first line setting in those patients who are affording and MSI high is found. No HER2 targeted first line approach. This is also changed of late. I think there are HER2 targeted we can use where we can find the HER2 target. So in first line, there are different combination, and this table is just to highlight whether there is any sidedness restriction or molecular preferred indication, like capecitabine and bevacizumab. Sorry. So we quite often use only, but our practice is usually to use as a maintenance capecitabine. But here there are some trials. We'll come to that trial also. Elderly patient where there is a low volume disease, we can use capecitabine as a even treatment also, not as a maintenance, but as a treatment also, along with bevacizumab, for which no marker is as such required. So cap bev is the commonly used regime in the old age. Folfox, Folfiri plus bevacizumab. No side restriction. Either right or left. In each of side we can use without going wrong. Folfixiri plus bev. Mainly in aggressive cancer where BRAF mutant is positive is there and right sided. So mind it, this is triple drug chemotherapy. Folfoxiri. Slightly more toxic than Folfoxfolviri, but good PS, extensive liver metastasis or lung metastasis. Moreover, where we are thinking of convergent treatment, like neoadjuvant treatment potentially, and later on resection of the primary as well as liver. So there we can use, in fact, we should use Folfoxiri as a backbone. Very good outcome and better than the two drug regime. So Folfiri follows with EGFR monoclonal left-sided. There is a restriction that in the right side we don't want to use EGFR monoclonal antibodies. Therefore, EGFR preferred indication is only left-sided cancer. So Folfoxiri 3 drug with EGFR again left-sided restriction. So again it's used in left-sided with high tumor load. So triple drug, as I said, high tumor load, we can use the triple drug chemotherapy, and EGFR monoclonal antibody are first preferable as a first line indication in the only on the left side. So we can remember this as a right is wrong. Right is wrong means right side EGFR, right side KRAS and RAS mutations are wild type. All RAS is wild type in the right side. Even then, we are not using EGFR therapy because right side is wrong. So this is just in sort of remembering this thing that right side we should not use EGFR despite having the wild type KRAS or NRAS. So it is basically restricted to the left side cancers. PDL1 again MSI high is recommended. And Beacon, yeah, this was a Beacon trial which I was discussing regarding triple targeted drug Beacon trial, where they have used the vemurafenib along with chemo drug plus MEK inhibitor. So MEK was N10Nib, which something like that. So this was a triple drug in the Beacon trial. Although we can see they have highlighted ESMO guideline allows EGFR monoclonal antibody in the right side cancer in the first line, but practically we have reached to a conclusion at today's scenario in first line right side not to be EGFR monoclonal antibody not to be used as a first line. So this was a trial AVEX study design with which we came to the conclusion that old age capecitabine bevacizumab is the key combination we can use with better result. So age more than 70, roughly on 280 patients were 1:1 randomization. Capecitabine the standard doses, bevacizumab 7.5 milligram per kilogram, 3 weekly interval. So versus cap only. So inclusion criteria was PS was 0 to 2. Prior adjuvant treatment were allowed. Exclusion were prior chemotherapy for MCRC were not taken into account, so they were excluded. Cardiovascular disease which are significant were excluded. Use of full dose anticoagulant thrombolytic agents were excluded because we know that bevacizumab has got high incidence. So current or recent use of aspirin or other NSAID also kept into the exclusion criteria. So this was published in Lancet Oncology, not a new study, old study, but do have very great importance in today's scenario. PFS of this same AVEX study, CAP-BEV, was 9.1 months as compared to 5 months. So roughly almost double the PFS with the single agent capecitabine. So there is a good outcome if we combine the bevacizumab with the capecitabine. Then there was a landmark study which we can say Crystal trial, which was published in 2016. And here they have combined the cetuximab with FOLFIRI and assess whether what is the benefit of adding cetuximab to FOLFIRI in different scenarios, right versus left, PFS OS. So this whole one slide summarizes the Crystal trial. First, we see the progression-free survival in the upper two Kaplan-Meier curve, and left-sided MCRC cetuximab. This orange curve is showing the cetuximab combination. So 12 months versus 9 months. On the other hand, on the right side, it's almost similar. So this curve is clearly showing that there is no benefit of adding cetuximab in the right side CRC. No difference in the outcome. Only it will add the toxicity. Although on the other hand, if you see the same is the overall survival. That left-sided overall survival is better with the cetuximab, and the right-sided OS is not significantly better, so almost similar. Then there was another study that was PRIME study, in which they have analyzed the panitumumab along with FOLFOX. So crystal trial there was FOLFIRI, and PRIME study was FOLFOX. Overall survival and progression-free survival as the sided by the sidedness, we can see this blue curve, which showing that median overall survival on the left versus right. So left was higher, 30.3 months, as compared to 11 on the right side. So left side has got overall good prognosis also. Side-wise good prognosis, even with the panitumumab wise, they has got the better response as compared to right. Again, same with the PFS and OS. Both are the equivalent result, same result. Like left side is much better with the panitumumab, and also better than the chemo alone. 23.6 months as compared to 30 on the left side with the experimental arm. So good 7-month difference in the overall survival, and again 4 months, roughly around 4 months in the PFS. So it highlights the benefit of adding the panitumumab along with the chemotherapeutic drugs on the left side. Again, this left versus right issue, we should understand, we should remember it arose by this particular study, which was published in 2016, and there are so many sub analysis and detailed analysis. That is CALGB SWOG 80405. This study we should definitely remember by heart, and this curve is showing that blue, this red one, green and orange. So blue one is left side with cetuximab. Yes, this is showing the overall survival. Cetuximab left is much higher than the right. It's almost 3 times. On the right, it's only 13 months and 39 months. And if we see the bevacizumab wise, 29 months on the right, 32 on the left. So if we give the bevacizumab, so difference is not much either right or left. So blindly, if we are not going for any molecular testing, we can give bevacizumab on both sides, right or left, without discussing the outcome. So both sides, Bev has got the good result. And if you see the difference on the cetuximab has got 25 months difference on the right versus left, Bev literally no difference. So this was a landmark study for creating an issue of right versus left. Then of late, there was a new study in 2019 that was a TRIBE2 study, in which they analyzed the sequencing. And PFS2 was the new endpoint. Like there was a randomization 1:1, FOLFOX plus BEV, and then they give the some sort of maintenance with the 5FU, dropping the oxaliplatin. And whenever there is a progression, so they have level PD1, and then they use a second line at FOLFIRI with BEV, then 5FU plus BEV was given, and then progression PD2. So this was arm 1. Arm 2, arm B was the experimental drug, that is sulfoxyri, triple drug, slightly more toxic drug along with bevacizumab, and same 5 was given till PD1. And again on progression, they have reused the sulfoxyri. Mind it. Here we have given sulfoxyri, put on FAFU maintenance, and whenever progression, then we can reuse the sulfoxyri for second line of treatment. And then PD2, PFS2 was this interval. Progression-free survival 2. This was the primary endpoint of TRIBE2 study. So in that way, this was also landmark study for triple drug regime of sulfoxyri and sequencing trial. So arm B, we know that was a sulfoxyri. Median PFS2 was much higher, 18.9, but 3 months difference is supposed to be a good difference in this scenario. So median PFS2 was higher. Even median PFS was also higher in arm B. And by the sidedness, if you see FOLFIRI plus BEV, FOLFOXIRI plus BEV, And the same analysis which we have reached to conclusion from the SWOG 80405 trial, which was published in 2016, and then PRIME study, and then Crystal study. So all these trials, what they have shown left versus right, even here the same thing came out, that left side has shown the better outcome with the bevacizumab, and folfoxiri has got given the an edge over the folfiri. So this very well can use in the good performance status, or where we are thinking of the convergent treatment. So this is slightly different, unique study, Vishnu 1, not very important of clinical use, but still phase 3 trial with more than equal to 3 CTC at baseline. CTC means circulating tumor cells, and MCRC less than 70 randomization, and it was randomized into Folfox 6, Folfoxiri with Bev. We can see the doses. Oxaliplatin is the standard Folfox 4, 85 milligram per millimeter square, irinotecan 165 in the Folfoxiri, and dose of Folfoxiri with the irinotecan was amended 2-3 times in this trial, and sometimes even 150 they have given, even 130 they have given, and prophylactic GCSF was added later on because of severe neutropenia with the Folfoxiri. Outcome wise, if you see, the Folfoxiri has given the edge over the Folfox, so 12.4 months versus 9.3 months. Again, there was a phase 2 study, Wolfi. This was for panitumab, combining with the Folfoxiri, although they have taken as a Folfoxiri in both arms, considering as till then it was taken as a standard. But yeah, as I said, doses they also have to modify sometimes. Even lowest dose was first was 130 milligram. Initially they used 165 milligram per meter square of irinotecan, and then it was amended to 130 milligram per meter square, and then final amendment was 150 milligram per meter square. So I believe we can keep the dose of irinotecan around 130 to 150 milligram per meter square, keeping the oxaliplatin same like 85 milligram per meter square. So in Wolfi trial, they have also reached the conclusion that overall response rate was higher with the panitumab combination, and also overall survival was also good. So this table just to summarizes the best convergent therapy, sided wise, right versus left. Left is more common, 70%. Prognosis wise also better. So RAS, BRAF wild type, roughly around 40%. So whenever there is a complete wild type, so we can use the EGFR on the left side, as I said earlier. On the right, we still have inhibitions on the right side, so BEV is used. If RAS is mutant, then BEV on the both side, irrespective of the right or left. BRAF mutation is there. Obviously, they are got bad prognosis. Therefore, triple drug regime is recommended in the BRAF, Folfoxiri plus BEV. We cannot use the EGFR on either side. So this is the permutation combination on the right versus left with the best convergent treatment. So again, this was the one data from the same landmark, as I said, Carl GB SWOG 80405. BEV containing first line therapy was active in the MSI high metastatic CRC. So this was a result which was published in last year, JCO, and this is also very great, important, like MSI high, median this thing outcome of median of survival was 30 months with the BEV. Cetuximab only 11.9 months. If we combine both, then 21 months. So this upper one is showing the best overall survival with the bevacizumab, even in those patients who are MSI high. So take home message from this trial is that MSI high doesn't mean that we have to switch over to the immuno-oncological drug immediately. We can use the chemo drug with the combination of bevacizumab, with which they have reached the median overall survival roughly 30 months. Again, same thing which I just discussed. MSI high CRC are responsive to PDL1 inhibitor. So this was the hypothesis in 2016, although it was confirmed in 2019. So there were some phase 1 or phase 2 studies regarding pembrolizumab, Keynote 016, Checkmate 142, nivolumab plus minus ipilimumab. Although results of these trials have been out of late, this is different class altogether. For CRC, I think this combination is also approved, nivolumab plus ipilimumab, and pembrolizumab is also approved as per the NCCN recent guideline. So thank you overall. So these were the clinical take-home messages from this talk. Any discussion, any question anyone wants to ask, I will be more than happy. Yeah.
If anybody is having question, they can unmute and ask question related to the sir.